It may astound you to learn that habitual consumption of specific varieties of nuts could heighten your vulnerability to heart-related ailments by roughly 48%. This is notably true for those in their senior years. There exists solid reasoning behind this statistic. It originates from investigations printed in the American College of Cardiology's publication, conducted over multiple calendar periods. Here comes the alarming section. Various commonly stored nuts found in kitchen storage areas can silently increase arterial pressure, stimulate bodily inflammation, obstruct blood passageways, and potentially worsen cognitive decline. Nevertheless, numerous older individuals ingest them believing they're beneficial. One specific nut, whose identity will be unveiled further along, has been connected with elevated amounts of a noxious compound that through consistent consumption can damage your hepatic system, kidney function, and mental capabilities. You probably have this particular nut in your snack container already. The identical one that reduced carbohydrate diet advocates often declare is beneficial, but it might be inflicting lasting damage on maturing physiques. However, don't be concerned, we've addressed this thoroughly in today's feature. Within this presentation, you'll discover the most exhaustive guidance on nut consumption, including which varieties provide maximum safety, greatest benefits for cardiac wellness, and most advantages for your cerebral health, alongside which ones should be completely avoided. Additionally, ensure you continue watching until the conclusion because there's a disturbing reality about the number one hazardous nut that few discuss publicly, and it could be substantially harming your well-being without your awareness. Please support this video with likes and channel subscriptions for similar content before we commence. Additionally, mention in the comments section your viewing location. Now, let's examine the 4 varieties of nuts that older adults should be incorporating. 4th ranked, the skeletal fortification powerhouse, almonds. Among the finest foods for an aging physique is the almond, thanks to its plentiful calcium and vitamin E composition, which collectively support maintaining robust bone structure. Skeletal fractures increasingly tend to cause serious complications as we age because our bone framework naturally becomes more porous and susceptible. Natural bone density reduction accelerates beyond age 65, but consuming merely 1/4 cup of almonds daily helps decelerate this process by providing approximately 97 milligrams of calcium. Beyond their calcium richness, almonds also contain magnesium, a mineral frequently deficient in senior populations. This characteristic makes almonds truly special. Magnesium functions as a delivery system, preventing calcium from harming your arterial walls and instead guiding it toward your skeletal structure. The advantageous monounsaturated fats in almonds also benefit heart wellness by lowering levels of detrimental LDL cholesterol, which becomes increasingly important as cardiovascular disease risk intensifies with advancing years. A daily portion of 15 to 20 almonds, preferably unprocessed or dry roasted without salt addition, represents my recommendation for older individuals. Almonds serve as excellent weapons against intestinal sluggishness owing to their substantial fiber content, approximately 3.5 g per serving, which affects roughly 40% of the elderly community. Most significantly, investigations conducted by scientists at Tufts University have revealed that almonds can help counteract oxidative deterioration that many worry would affect their neural cells with advancing maturity. Look for almonds with their external layer intact as they contain flavonoids in the coating that when combined with vitamin E double their antioxidant capability. Caution: almonds may present choking dangers for elderly individuals experiencing swallowing difficulties, so ensure complete chewing before swallowing. 3rd ranked, walnuts, the nut enhancing brain performance. Because of their remarkable resemblance to the cerebral organ they help nourish, walnuts emerge as premier brain foods for seniors. These exceptional nuts provide the richest concentration of plant-derived omega-3 fatty acid alpha-linolenic acid compared with any other conventional nut. This carries substantial importance for aging brains since omega-3s assist neural transmission and maintain neural cell membrane integrity. Substantial improvements in mental processing velocity and intellectual flexibility were documented in seniors consuming merely 1.5 ounces of walnuts daily over 8 weeks. According to recent studies published in the Nutrition Journal, walnuts' distinctive polyphenolic elements may inhibit progression of neurodegenerative conditions including Alzheimer's and dementia by crossing the blood-brain barrier and directly combating inflammation within neural tissues. What remains generally unknown is that walnuts contain melatonin as well, levels of which typically decline with advancing years, potentially causing sleep disruptions for numerous seniors. Some individuals discover that eating a handful of walnuts before bedtime helps achieve more restful slumber. Walnuts' combination of arginine, an amino acid supporting vascular function, and polyphenol, which reduce oxidative stress, also renders them tremendously beneficial for cardiovascular health. Indeed, walnuts can enhance blood pressure medication effectiveness by assisting elderly individuals in maintaining arterial flexibility. For maximum advantages, store walnuts under refrigeration to prevent their delicate oils from becoming rancid. And attempt consuming 7 to 9 walnut halves daily. As an additional benefit, you can maintain manual dexterity by cracking them yourself whenever feasible. Don't be deterred by the naturally defensive taste of walnuts. Actually, slight bitterness signals their powerful antioxidant concentration. Second-ranked pistachios represent an excellent method for controlling hypertension. Regarding health advantages of nuts for seniors, pistachios may represent the most undervalued variety, particularly for blood pressure management. Pistachios distinguish themselves by containing minimal sodium and abundant potassium, approximately 285 mg per serving, making them a beneficial snack option. This mineral balance holds particular importance for elderly persons because it helps prevent kidney salt retention as aging progresses. They may reduce systolic blood pressure readings by 3 to 5 points, similar to certain prescription medications but without adverse effects. Additionally, pistachios' lutein and zeaxanthin deserve emphasis because these carotenoids protect against age-related macular degeneration, the primary cause of visual impairment in individuals beyond age 60 by concentrating within the eye's macula. Older adults can appreciate pistachios' satisfying crunch without worrying about potential damage to dental work and gum tissue that harder nuts might cause. Beyond visual appeal, antioxidants present in their characteristic green and purple coloration help neutralize free radicals that accelerate bodily aging processes. Pistachios benefit seniors through their practicality, preventing excessive intake and offering a mindful consumption experience that proves both relaxing and cognitively stimulating. The shell removal process naturally decelerates consumption. The International Journal of Obesity noted that discarded shells help seniors better monitor their consumption by providing visual evidence of intake quantity. If hand arthritis affects you, partially open pistachios still permit enjoyment of the shelling experience. Aim for approximately 49 pistachios daily or roughly 1 ounce of unsalted or minimally salted varieties. For the 25% of Americans exceeding age 65 who have diabetes or prediabetes, the 3 g of fiber per ounce of pistachios proves highly beneficial in stabilizing blood glucose levels. First-ranked Brazil nuts, a solution for thyroid difficulties. We've positioned Brazil nuts first because they support thyroid function, an important yet frequently neglected aspect of healthy aging. With 96 micrograms or 137% of daily requirements in just one specimen, these remarkable nuts constitute the richest selenium food source currently identified. Since numerous thyroid disorder cases remain undiagnosed because symptoms frequently resemble natural aging manifestations, this carries tremendous significance because thyroid conditions affect up to 20% of individuals beyond age 65. Selenium, abundant in Brazil nuts, proves essential for thyroid hormone activation, which subsequently supports energy production, metabolism, and emotional stability. Beyond thyroid benefits, specific fatty acids in Brazil nuts assist preserving myelin, the protective covering surrounding nerve cells that typically diminishes with advancing age. Seniors may maintain reflexes, reaction times, and cognitive processing capabilities thanks to this myelin preservation. The selenium in Brazil nuts warrants attention because it exists in organically bonded form, making it more accessible and easily utilized by your body compared with synthetic selenium supplements. Brazil nuts demonstrate such potency that minimal quantities yield noticeable effects, and their luxurious, creamy consistency makes even small amounts enjoyable. Indeed, I recommend seniors consume no more than 1 or 2 Brazil nuts daily due to potential adverse effects from excessive selenium consumption. When purchasing Brazil nuts, attempt finding those still enclosed in shells. This natural packaging preserves nutritional integrity longer. Store them refrigerated to prevent spoilage resulting from high-fat composition. Brazil nuts contain fiber and natural oils supporting intestinal regularity, providing additional benefits for seniors experiencing constipation. Many elderly individuals seek comfort in less nutritious snack options. However, these present excellent alternatives owing to their naturally sweet and buttery flavor profile. The most remarkable emerging evidence suggests certain antioxidants in Brazil nuts may slow natural shortening of telomeres, chromosome caps that typically contract with age and consequently influence cellular aging processes. If you're 65 or beyond, these nuts represent ideal choices for you. In this forthcoming section, we'll examine nuts which certain seniors should avoid or consume cautiously. Inflammatory trigger number 4, peanuts. Despite widespread consumption, peanuts create difficulties for numerous elderly individuals due to inherent hazards. Initially, recognize that peanuts aren't genuine nuts. They're subterranean growing legumes. This makes them vulnerable to fungal growth and aflatoxins, mycotoxins naturally produced by certain molds that can damage hepatic function and increase cancer vulnerability through regular consumption. As aging advances, bodily detoxification systems inevitably become less efficient, amplifying this danger. More concerning for elderly persons is that peanuts contain proteins potentially triggering inflammatory responses in many individuals, even without actual allergic sensitivities. Aging persons already face heightened vulnerability to joint discomfort, cardiovascular strain, and cognitive deterioration. This subtle inflammation can exacerbate all 3 conditions. Most Americans already ingest excessive omega-6 fatty acids compared with anti-inflammatory omega-3s. Peanuts' elevated omega-6 concentration compounds this issue. Many physicians neglect informing elderly patients about potentially dangerous interactions between peanuts and anticoagulants like warfarin resulting from peanuts' vitamin K content. The inclusion of hydrogenated oils, additional sodium, and sweeteners in commercial peanut butters intensifies these problems for aging cardiovascular systems. The 63% of American seniors suffering from hypertension already face sufficient challenges. Even natural peanut butter without salt addition can elevate blood pressure readings. Improper storage causes peanuts to become rancid and generate harmful free radicals, creating another concern. Commercial dry roasting processes also produce acrylamide, a substance with potential cognitive degrading effects. This particularly concerns individuals already worried about memory function. Even if you've consumed peanuts regularly without apparent negative consequences, switching to our recommended alternatives, even 3 days weekly, can provide essential nutrients while reducing exposure to these detrimental substances. Third-ranked cashews. The blood sugar elevation that remains initially undetected. Due to exceptionally high carbohydrate composition and glycemic impact, cashews present distinct hazards to older adults. Cashews contain fewer beneficial compounds and substantially more carbohydrates, approximately 9 g per ounce, than authentic tree nuts. Approximately 25% of individuals beyond age 65 have diabetes, while another 48% have prediabetes. This triggers blood glucose responses potentially dangerous for their well-being. This concern intensifies because cashews maintain positive health reputations. Consequently, many elderly people consume them excessively without considering potential blood sugar impacts. Cashew's smooth, curved shape creates aspiration hazards deserving attention, particularly for individuals with swallowing difficulties. They rank among frequently aspirated nuts among senior populations. Nutritionally, cashews underperform due to elevated oxalate content, substances binding with calcium during digestion and reducing calcium absorption. This creates significant problems for elderly individuals already facing osteoporosis vulnerability. For those already experiencing increased kidney stone risk, danger escalates dramatically beyond age 60 due to these same oxalates. Another hidden problem involves cashew processing. Cashews sacrifice substantial nutritional value during extensive processing required to remove urushiol, a toxic substance also found in poison ivy. Many commercially available varieties undergo oil roasting and excessive salting, introducing unhealthy fats and sodium, potentially worsening hypertension and cardiac strain. Cashews contain enzyme inhibitors potentially hindering protein digestion. This particularly affects seniors who frequently struggle with food digestion and protein absorption generally. Many remain unaware of this characteristic. Cashew's creamy texture facilitates overconsumption, potentially contributing to weight management challenges during life stages when maintaining healthy weight becomes increasingly difficult. Regularly substituting walnuts or almonds for cashews provides healthier snacking options, presenting fewer threats to aging bodies while delivering superior nutritional benefits. 2. Owing to extreme caloric density, macadamia nuts present significant health concerns to elderly individuals despite delightful flavor. They represent the most calorically concentrated nut available at approximately 200 calories per ounce. Metabolic rates inevitably declining with advancing age further complicates already challenging weight management for seniors. Their extraordinarily high fat composition, about 22 g per ounce, further diminishes gallbladder efficiency, already compromised through aging. Macadamias can trigger painful episodes potentially otherwise unnoticed by the 15% of seniors with asymptomatic gallstones. Beyond caloric content, macadamias rank among nuts with highest saturated fat concentrations, roughly 3 g per ounce, potentially raising LDL cholesterol levels, concerning many elderly individuals. Their density and hardness seriously threaten dental health for seniors having crowns, bridges, or weakened teeth. This particularly affects those beyond age 65 when enamel weakens through wear and diminished calcium absorption. Practically speaking, macadamias rank among costliest nuts, potentially causing budget-conscious seniors to select cheaper varieties more likely rancid or improperly stored, exposing them to dangerous oxidized fats. Commercial macadamia's nutritional profile already suffers, further compromised by additional sodium and damaged fats through oil roasting and excessive salting. Their rich, buttery flavor might encourage overconsumption, particularly among older individuals possibly having less discriminating palates preferring stronger tastes. It's concerning that many elderly persons consume macadamias believing they benefit cardiac health, yet research demonstrating nuts' heart benefits has largely ignored or minimized high-fat varieties like macadamias. Pistachios offer substantially improved nutritional profiles specifically suited for aging bodies. If you've regularly enjoyed macadamias, consider switching alternatives. First ranked, pine tree nuts. Pine nuts, known medication disruptors, rank among most problematic nuts for elderly populations for numerous reasons particularly significant within this demographic. They're containing compounds interacting with over 60% of medications prescribed to seniors raises substantial concerns since these interactions could diminish medication effectiveness or introduce harmful side effects. Many prescription medications interact with each other, particularly statins, certain antidepressants, and hypertension treatments prescribed to individuals beyond age 65. Most physicians and pharmacists never inform patients about food-drug interaction risks, raising significant warning signals. Pine nut syndrome creates greatest concern, causing pine nuts to impart bitter metallic flavors potentially persisting weeks after consumption. While seemingly insignificant, this can severely impact older adults due to correlations between taste alterations and decreased appetite and nutritional status. Research indicates substantial weight reduction occurs in approximately 42% of affected individuals. The syndrome apparently affects elderly populations more frequently, possibly attributable to taste receptor changes and modified detoxification pathways accompanying aging. Pine nuts contain abundant polyunsaturated fats, quickly oxidizing and generating inflammatory compounds. This concerns elderly individuals already managing inflammatory conditions like arthritis. Their small size and slippery texture may cause aspiration. This particularly worries older persons experiencing swallowing difficulties or taking medications causing mouth dryness, affecting over 70% of seniors taking multiple prescriptions. While protein absorption naturally decreases with advancing age, pine nuts enzyme inhibitors can impede protein digestion during this period. Pine nuts represent calorie-dense items, potentially contributing to weight management challenges common beyond age 65 due to high oil content and culinary applications including pesto, their most common preparation method. Concerningly, emerging research indicates chemicals in certain pine nut varieties may accelerate age-related macular degeneration, the primary cause of vision loss among elderly populations. After reaching 65, avoid these 4 nuts. Dietary choices regarding which nuts to incorporate or eliminate can profoundly influence health, vitality, and mental function during golden years. Finally, remember that consistent implementation of minor adjustments yields tremendous outcomes long term. Now it's your turn to share. Have dietary modifications such as adding or eliminating specific nuts affected your health? Tell us which nut most significantly impacted your well-being. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section. We appreciate your feedback.